right. So for this is an interesting one. This one is rated R. So if you're not into rated R surreal horror, this one might not be for you. But there is a way that you can still do this one without having to watch the video. So let's pop over here and see what it is. So this one right here is the Deontology Herd the Women. We need the milk. This has a huge trigger warning on it because it talks a lot about the video itself right here is rated R. It is very graphic. It is very disturbing. So if that's not your cup of tea, do not watch it. But since I have created this assignment a couple of years ago, over time, I have been able to fill it with other things to kind of supplement it because I have had students who want to tackle the assignment, but they don't want to watch the video. So now I think I found a happy balance between the two. So for this one, we're talking about deontology. And this is going to be in the realm of, do mothers have a moral obligation to breastfeed their children if the categorical imperative was that breast milk is best? Um, Now, I'm sure, so this tends to be one that gets a lot of people just enraged or because they're very passionate about this topic. So try and come down with me as I explain what this one is and see if you want to do this option or not. So for this one, you're going to do a reflective response where you're going to watch or read some of the material and you're going to answer some questions. This is a free uh creative track in the sense that you could talk about what you want as long as you're interjecting it from a deontology to deontology perspective. Um, so let me explain this in both parts. So the video itself right here, this is about a 20-minute video, and it comes from the concept that this person had overheard the little kids making a joke that was ill-timed, and the mother was crying because the kid was like, "Mom, you're like a cow, you know, like the baby just uses you like a cow." This caused such extreme emotional distress to the mother at the time that this inspired the director of this short to make a horror because he's into horror and kind of show what was going on through the mind of the mother at the time. And this particular mother was going through a lot of high emotions at the time. And as he started looking around, he was starting to see how this topic is so heated. There's a lot of people who want to strictly breastfeed, and there's a lot who want to do both breastfeed and formula, and there's some who want to but can't. So it's a really hard, touchy topic. And so the director is going to explore that in his short film about just the the mental turmoil that goes through not only society but through the mother but through the babies through this entire process. So you're free to watch that and then, answer some of these questions down here. Now, if you don't want that, again, very graphic. I love horror, but even for me, I was like, dang, so very graphic. If you don't want to do that, I have found some alternatives that you could read that talk about this topic. This one right here is going to be talking in favor of breastfeeding. This article is pretty old, been around for a while, but there was a group of mothers. I believe this was out of the West Coast or the East Coast. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But they wanted to breastfeed as long as possible. So some of the children in this breastfeeding group were 5, 6, 7 years old. It caused a huge stir about how much is too much. So that was talking about that one. And these other ones are kind of going back and forth. Is breastfeeding the baby's right? Like, does the baby have a right to breast milk? If the baby has a right to be born, surely it has a right to the best nutritious foods and stuff. So that's a really unique perspective in this one. And then these other ones are going to probably go in the other direction, like their body, their choice type of thing. So I tried to get a balance of the two. So for this reflection, you do not have to answer all of these questions, but over time, different questions have come up, students have offered different perspectives on it, and we've added and taken away from these questions. So you're free to tackle one solely, or maybe you want to combine a couple. Or, like I said, maybe there is just something that you just want to talk about and go that way. But remember, we are in the module of deontology. So deontology being that it is what it is, and you cannot change it, not for one person, from one time period, from all. If you say, look, their body, their choice, that has to be a categorical imperative. You know, that was what Kant would say. And Kant would tell you, I want you to justify that statement. I want you to justify your period. You just said you have to breastfeed or you don't have to breastfeed. Justify that response. It has to be that for everybody in every culture. So basically, what Kant is doing with theology is he's trying to remove relativism. He's trying to find one universal moral theory that could fit everybody at every time period. And you can see how that's problematic and how that's how it's never happened. Um, Kant's a great guy. So this is what this assignment's about. Again, it's very passionate. Feel free to put yourself out there and talk with us and to let us know what you have as respectfully as possible. Remember, feelings and emotions are going to be high on this one, and I would like to make sure we have a calm, respectful arena. So if you need any help, please let me know. I'm here to guide you guys through all of this. I know online it could be very hard because you're trying to figure out what to say, what not to say, who you're going to get upset. Uh, but I am here to help you. So, all right. Good luck. And let me know if you need anything.